You're listening to the We Are Libertarians podcast network. Find all of our shows at wearelibertarians.com. You're listening to the We Are Libertarians network. Learn more at wearelibertarians.com.
We're starting off episode 17 the same way we did with episode 16. Welcome to We Are Libertarians, redheaded stepchild of a show, the Boss Hog of Liberty. This is Jeremiah Morrell. I'm with Dakota Davis, our co-host, and his lovely fiance, Audrey Jo Peavie. Welcome.
Yeah.
Yep. She's going to be a mute. She's going to be a deaf mute throughout this. It's going to be a great podcast. Just as we turn the mics on, she got her funny bone on the table, and she's pouty and not happy. She keeps rubbing her elbow, but I think what she's really trying to do is just show off that ring you put on her hand, Dakota. Yeah. I think that's really what's going on.
That's definitely what's happening.
So we had I'm really excited about this show. This is like, I've put a lot of effort in planning. I was ready to go. I was as excited as I've been. And then I got an email at like 4 o'clock this afternoon, 3:30 this afternoon. It said your DNA test results are in, Dakota.
Yep.
Or they said Jeremiah, and then I checked with you,
Jeremiah. No. Mine said Dakota.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I send a message to the two of you, and Audrey Jo replies back and says, "Oh my gosh, I got it too." And I said, "We need to do this Maury Povich style at the top of the episode.
Yep.
We're going to click on it and see what we know, see what we are."
None of us have opened the email yet. That's what's so exciting about this. Did you open yours?
No. Okay, I'm literally clicking
just
here to see my results. So I'm going to my email, and I'm going to click on see my results right now. This is the top of the show, but we literally are finding out in real time just what we
I'll
were.
let you go first.
They told us this was going to be like 8 weeks.
Yeah, they said 6 to 8 weeks.
Last 2 weeks ago, we sat in this room and we spit in a cup. We put it in the mail. It went to Utah, and it came back. Hello,
Mormons work fast.
Hello, Jeremiah. Okay, so it says ethnicity estimate. I am 75% Great Britain, which is exactly what we thought I would be.
Yep.
10% Irish and 15% something else. So,
what is something else?
I don't know. It says other regions. I got to click. Is it going to make me pay? Do I have to pay for more? It says 7 ethnicity regions and 4 genetic communities for me. Okay, here we go. 100%. I'm 100% European. Ta-da!
Me too.
I'm all European. 75% British, 100% or 10% Irish. Those are the Malloys. So I'm very welcome down in Rushville for their St. Patrick's Day festival. 5% Italian or Greece. 4% European West. Whatever the Liberian Peninsula is, 3%. Finland or Northwestern Russian, 2%, and 1% Eastern European. That's me.
Oh man,
what's the Dakota Davis story?
Woo.
What are you?
I first click it. My ethnicity estimate is 80% Great Britain, 7% Scandinavian, 5% European Jewish, and 1% West Asia.
You're Jewish. You're Asian, and you're Jewish.
That's correct.
Congratulations. Shalom.
Wow. Thank you. Shalom Hakeem.
My goodness.
Ring a bell?
Yeah, I saw that guy selling a car on Craigslist.
Yep.
Audrey Jo, what are you?
I am 100% European.
High five.
47% Europe West, 27% Great Britain, 8% Scandinavian, and 7% of the Iberian Peninsula.
Oh, we're the same. We come from a lot of the same places.
I know.
She actually may be related to me. I don't know.
Wow. Oh, okay. So I just clicked on the more information on West Asia.
Yeah.
I'm Middle Eastern.
So you're a brown people.
I am a brown person.
Yes, you're a brown person.
Brown people, am I right? That's me.
That's one of your people. You can't. Yeah. You've got the paperwork to prove that it's okay.
I can make all the brown jokes I want now.
Because it's you. So then, do you guys have something about genetic community? This is, by the way, just for us. This is not. We're not sponsored. Ancestry.com. If you want to pay us, great. but this is not a paid advertisement of any sort.
Advertisement.
They don't have to pay us. Just let us see what our leaves are.
Yeah.
Please.
Hey,
So-
I already paid. I'm a full
Dakota's a
customer.
premium member. So did you go to the genetic communities?
Mm-hmm.
I
All
have
right.
not.
So it says I have 4 genetic communities. And I click on the first one. It's the Mormons, the Mormon pioneers of the Mountain West. And I click on it, and it says, I click on connection. Oh gosh, very likely. You and 404 of your DNA matches, along with 130,000 other DNA members, are genetically linked to the Mormon pioneers. And I click on, your DNA indicates you have a strong connection to this community. Our confidence is that 95% you have DNA with these people. So I click on it, and oh my God. So it literally has my first cousin. Like, it shows me Amanda Burnhall, my cousin.
Wow. That is incredible.
That is crazy.
So yours is your genetic community? That's what you clicked on?
Yeah.
There?
And it says first cousin, second cousin, third cousin. And the first person on here is one of my first cousins,
That's crazy.
who's definitely from the Mormon side. It's my mom's sister's daughter.
That is super interesting. Mine, mine is the settlers of the Missouri Ozarks and East Tennessee.
Which is what you expected.
Yep, that's exactly what I expected.
So far you're checking out.
I'm a pure red-blooded American.
Oh my gosh.
So then
American girls, American guys.
here we go. Okay, so the other community it says I'm a part of is the settlers of southeastern New York, which is where my dad's from. And it says I have a second cousin who is, once again, it's Brian Wade. And it's his son is the one that manages it. And it says extremely high confidence. And it is truly, damn, this is pretty accurate. That's crazy. I'm pretty
I have
impressed.
799 matches.
Wait, what are your genetic communities, Dakota?
Mine was the settlers of the...
Dude, this is a picture of my grandmother.
Missouri
My great-grandmother
Ozarks.
just popped up. When I clicked on him, that
Oh my
top
gosh.
left woman is my great-grandmother.
That's hilarious.
That is amazing. This is
Out of my
really cool.
spit.
Yeah.
Look at this. I'm seeing third and fourth cousins and fourth and sixth.
So how many communities did you have? Just 2?
I only had one.
Oh, Jeremiah, you had what, 4?
4.
I have 2. Mine are the early settlers of the lower Midwest and Virginia and early settlers of eastern Kentucky and northeast Tennessee, which is very true. I do have family from all those places.
Hopefully Dakota doesn't show up in there as like a second cousin. Like, as you look.
Oh my gosh. No.
Your genetic
please.
communities, and he's right there with you. I've got the Mormon pioneers of the West, which it knows 95%. Settlers of southeastern New York, which I found a family member, and then it has the Irish in the Donegal Southwest and settlers of Massachusetts, Vermont, and New Hampshire. Let's click on this and see who. It says possible. View my match. There's 139 matches there. This is down the rabbit hole, but for $90, this is pretty solid.
This is really in depth. I'm very impressed with this.
How in the world it finds all these people?
Well, they also...
Oh my gosh, yeah, there's Ellen Lavarnway. My God, that's a second
My
cousin.
God.
That is crazy.
See, I don't have any first cousins on mine.
It's my dad's first cousin.
Nope, I just have a third cousin.
I have a second, but
Wow. This is incredible.
I gotta find the Irish people here and see who's in the Irish community. Here.
This is...
But I'm clicking on it and finding names like people that I've met and know.
I don't know a lot of these people.
I don't know any of these people, which
I
is
don't
what
either.
makes it cool, because I didn't know any of my family before. Like, my family is so scattered. I've met very few relations to myself.
Yep, here's a Malloy, which is my Irish family, and that's one of the Irish connections here. That's crazy. Yep, it's okay, Mom and Dad. It checks out. The story checks out. I am both of your kids. So
I have a lot of family in Washington, D.C. Like, that is my most concentrated area of family members. Is in Virginia, Maryland, and Washington, D.C. area.
still.
Yeah, still.
Okay. From your dad or your mom?
I don't know.
Oh, it tells you this now that that's where they're at?
Yeah.
How do you see that?
It's giving me a map.
Right. Well, that's where they came from. That's where those people were at the time.
Oh.
Because mine is the Mormon pioneers of the Mountain West.
Now it's showing me Africa. I don't have any family from Africa.
This is crazy. Well, that's well worth it. This might have been good enough for me to pony up and spend a little bit of money.
Apparently, I'm between 4th or 6th cousins with this dime.
This dime.
Look at him.
He's got some long, flowing, sandy hair.
Wow.
Very creepy.
I'm sure that he sings in a garage band called, like, the Golden Locks or something stupid like that.
Interesting.
Yeah, I want to figure out how closely related. I want to find. We don't have any of the same communities. I don't think none of us are in the same genetic community. So I think, fortunately or unfortunately, we're not. Oh, settlers of colonial New England is in here as well.
I found a Davis on my connections.
Uh-oh.
Teresa Davis.
That's my dad's sister. That would just make her 5th cousins, though. We would be okay.
I found
Still plenty illegal.
A 4th cousin who appears to be in a picture with the World Series trophy. So maybe a baseball player. Who knows?
There we go.
That's wild. All right. So anyway, that's I know it's riveting podcasting, but that was literally us opening the information up as we started. I got that and wanted to check on it right away. So. I'm stunned at how accurate that was. That it actually truly found people that I know. That's cool. Legit because I didn't tell them. I didn't tell them my cousin was Amanda.
Right.
I just figured that out, and it knew I was. I because of some family records, I knew.
Spit in a cup.
I know, but I know it's true. Where I've my grandmother, my mom's mom, all the way back. I can go back to the early pioneers of the Mormons. I knew that, but apparently they figured that out too. So pretty impressive.
That's awesome.
And we now know you have true hillbilly roots.
I do.
Come by it naturally. So there we go. And you're not too closely related. I think that the Boss Hog of Liberty podcast can fully endorse this marriage at this point.
Good.
It's not
just at this point.
This was the last stop, right?
I mean, we only had like 3 months left. It would have been bad if it had really taken all 8 weeks.
Yeah, I paid for my tux last week. So They called the other day. They're concerned about my jacket measurements, and I got to go upstairs and look at one of my jackets and email them back. But I don't know.
Dakota, did you not do a good job?
Oh, he didn't. He only did one measurement.
I only did the arm. I only did the arm length for him because the tuxedo rental place here in town.
They couldn't read and comprehend. I'm not going to bash them. They were very nice. They didn't charge me. They charged $5 for a measurement, and they did almost all of the measurements. But there was a measurement on there that they were not familiar with and they didn't want to try.
Even though it gives you a tutorial on how to do it?
Even though it tells you how to do it. And Dakota and I figured it out, and we're just simple men. And they do it every day.
I'm just a simple man.
I
don't know much about measuring jackets.
Yeah.
Oh my.
So we've got, I know I've got my wedding invitation coming at some point. I'm committed.
Have they been sent out yet?
But there's been some talk. We had a big party over the weekend, some communications, and Audrey Jo has extended the wedding invite list. There was some talk on the last podcast that dear leader and Greg's father, well, we think he's his father. We really need Greg to spit in a cup now to prove it.
We really do.
But it looks like you've made some concessions.
I have.
Tell us what's going on.
I decided that they could come.
So you've got invitations in the mail.
No, I do not.
Or you're going to.
I don't even have the invitations.
Do we need to pick them
honest.
out?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, I can't wait to help.
Boss Hog of Liberty themed.
Oh.
Oh God.
See, we're gonna get some new art. Dakota has really had a good week here at Boss Hog of Liberty, and we're probably going to get some new artwork.
There's a lot of
Dakota's
things
going to be a part of it
that have happened. I feel since we had our last episode.
Since we had our last one, yeah.
Yeah, because we were on the big show last week. But
right.
I feel like there's just been a ton of things happening.
We have spent
since then.
an incredible amount of quality time together.
Yeah, we really have.
Or non-quality time. A lot of time together. We went. We had a big weekend. We spent almost every waking moment of the weekend together.
Yeah,
nearly. And even in the non-waking moments, you were still thinking about me as the report that I got.
Oh my gosh.
So we had a...
Tell the story.
Yeah.
Audrey.
Well, after Tanner's party...
Tanner Purdue turned 21, and we had a We Are Libertarians pool party over here at the house. And Tanner was actually very well behaved. Had a good time. We all had fun. And so you took Dakota out of here. He was supposed to stay the night and help me clean up the next morning.
Yeah.
And he wasn't here. You drug him away on me.
Yeah, we left, and he was pretty drunk. And he wasn't coherent whatsoever, really. And I just wanted to mess with him. So whenever we were laying down, he was like passed out. So I like reached over and just like tickled his stomach. And he started screaming. He's like, Jer, stop it. Stop it, Jer. I was like, Dakota, it's okay. You're at home. Jeremiah's not here. And he calmed down for a second. And I was like, what did Jeremiah have to do with any of this anyways? He's like, he owns part of it. He owns it. And I was like, what does he own? He's like, he owns part of the Boss Hog of Liberty. And then he just got really upset with me that I was laughing.
I was very, very angry that she was making fun of me.
He does not remember any of this.
I don't remember any of it at all. I was dead asleep.
We have a true partnership, Dakota. I am very excited that you take it seriously enough to have nightmares about me now at this point.
Yeah,
and
that is very well put.
You just can't escape me at this point.
Nope.
So we had a big pool party. You jumped off my roof. First, I heard that you gave a show to everybody when you went to change. Did you go use the?
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
So the way this is set up is I have like there's a pool area and then there's a table where a lot of people gather outside.
Right.
And then it's off the guest room, off the patio.
Right beside that table is a window going into the guest room.
Which is where Dakota chose to go change.
That is where I went to go change into some swim trunks. And I did not know that it was dark. Like, I knew it was dark outside, but I didn't know that the blinds were open. And you know how if it's dark outside and you turn the light on inside, then you can just see right in?
It's like you're on TV.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, that's what happened. And then I walked outside. And I forgot to turn the light off, and I looked in there and went... No,
I said to you, did you go in the bedroom or someone in there right now? And you go, did I not turn the light off in there? And you're like, I was changing in there. You're like, I was butt naked. You're like I was naked for like horrified. 2 minutes straight digging around for underwear.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Oh my gosh. Oh. So that's the first awkward moment.
Nobody said anything to me about it except for Greg.
I don't think I noticed. Did Greg see? Greg saw it when you were a baby, so I guess it doesn't really matter.
Did he see?
Greg, he mentioned it at breakfast the next morning.
I think because he was sitting right there when I said that to you.
No, he wasn't.
Was it?
He wasn't even outside.
Oh, that's awkward.
He was inside the room with you? Is that what you're trying to say?
No. He was not inside the room. Let's make that clear right now.
Father-son bonding time. That's why he wasn't there.
He's just there for the chafing. He's there to apply powder.
Yeah.
So I went upstairs to change in my room, and you had, I guess it must have been a few minutes later. I went upstairs to change in my room, and I look out my window, and Dakota is looking back in from my second floor window, standing on the roof. And I'm like... So, yeah, he tried to do the same thing to me, but you were just getting ready to jump in.
Yep. Yeah, the thing about it was a lot of the people that were on the ground, they weren't at the...
It was all new to them. This was very taboo. Yeah, they were shocked.
They were very new people, so they were all like, oh, you can't jump off the roof. That's really dangerous. And I was like, guys.
You're rookies.
Goys. There's... been people that have been much more inebriated than I do front flips.
This was very early in the evening. It was still daylight. You were fine.
I just wanted to do it, and I didn't want to...
Is it the first time you've done that?
Yeah. Okay. I didn't want to be... I didn't want to have too much alcohol if I was to try it, because I didn't want to, step on the gutter and break my ankle and smash my teeth into the concrete. That would be a horrible way to end the night.
Yeah, that's way too early to end an evening.
Yeah.
I was already upset with you that you left as early as you did.
Yeah. We left at 1, We left at 1 a.m, and then Jeremiah posts on my wall, "Didn't even make it to midnight." Excuse me?
I think I posted that at 12:40. I went back and looked at it. So I think you were right at midnight. I don't know.
No, it was about 1 o'clock. It was 1 o'clock when I got in bed. I know that.
You don't remember any of it, but yet you remember the time you got home.
Yeah, I can remember looking at the clock.
There was so
It
much
said
that happened at that
1:06.
party.
I'm
just thinking about everything.
Dakota got Micah to come to it. Our friend Micah.
I knew this was going to happen.
And apparently, as I read on Facebook later, you touched Micah in a very intimate way.
Me and Dakota and Micah were all kind of standing like near each other while we were watching karaoke. And I thought that Micah had walked away, but it was actually Dakota that had walked away. And I just started like rubbing his back, like off to the side. Very awkward.
In your special way. How long did it take him to be like, hey,
It didn't. I noticed, I like happened to look over and I saw, cause he has more blonde hair. And I was like, oh shit. I just walked away. I just went inside. I was like, I need another drink.
She's an interesting lady, isn't she?
And then he sat next to me at breakfast.
He never responded.
Yeah, he never said anything about it.
She's made a...
You probably got him in trouble.
Yeah, probably. Haley, it was not on purpose. Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Oh my gosh! And then
very embarrassing.
We did karaoke.
We did. I sang like 6 songs.
I think I did way too many for my talents and abilities. I did way too many songs.
And then I get up the next day and see the We Are Libertarians Snapchat, where Chris Spangle had made a video of me singing, and looks over Audrey and says, "I've never heard a worse singer in my life." So thank you, Chris.
Tad Western told me I needed to use a different key when I sing some of the songs, and I told him, "Man, it's the only key I've got."
Yep,
that's all I've got. I think we did very well with the Garth Brooks. The Friends in Low Places was the high the high moment of the party for us.
Was that the song we sang?
Yeah.
Was it? She had a need to feel the thunder.
No. We didn't get to that one. But I'm hoping that you once again, Dakota chooses to ignore me when he doesn't want to answer. If I hit him on Messenger, he'll get me right back normally.
Yep,
but if I send him a text, I looked at my text today. I was like, okay, this is getting pathetic. I sent 6 texts to Dakota. The only reply back I got on text was a thumbs up 2 days ago. That's the only reply I had for the entire scrolling. I sent an idea, he ignores me. But I sent something over on Messenger and I had a reply in like 2 seconds. I'm like, well, I'm giving up on texting Dakota at this point.
Yeah, I know. That's how I have to go about things.
Texting has become so inconvenient for me.
I have to change apps.
It's like phone calls. If someone other than work calls me on the phone, I am automatically annoyed at the situation.
You are impossible to talk to on the phone.
I hate
you. I will get one-word answers. There's nothing from them.
Mm-hmm. Or just silence for a few seconds, and you're like, okay.
Great.
All right.
Sorry, I interrupted TV time. So, anyway, I texted about the Garth Brooks. Garth Brooks is coming to Indianapolis. First time since 1996.
Oh my gosh.
So I texted
Same
Dakota.
year I was born.
Yeah. Audrey wasn't even born yet the last time he played Indy.
Nope.
That's true.
So I'm like, we're going to buy tickets. I'm fully on board. I can't get them to say a word back, but I'm so excited.
Did you know about this?
No.
It's
in
in
October.
October. See him? It's like a Saturday night in October. A week. It'll be like a month before your wedding. Could be a wedding present. I don't care.
There we go.
But I just want your commitment.
I'm going.
I won't know any songs, but
we'll teach
you. You'll know
You'll just
one.
stand between the two of us.
You'll know one.
That summer.
That summer by Garth Brooks. She had a need to feel the thunder.
Is that the only part you know of the song? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And something about the lightning in his eyes.
It's a statutory rape song.
Yeah, that's
where
right.
an old woman takes advantage of a 17-year-old boy in a farm field in Kansas or something.
Was he 17?
Oh yeah. I don't want to talk about
He says
that.
a young boy in the song.
Yeah.
Makes me feel very uncomfortable.
I mean, he was old enough to go out for a summer and have a job, but he wasn't.
I got my first job at 14. That's a young boy.
Well,
interesting.
Yeah. So we did Friends in Low Places. There were a number of Toby Keith songs. That was the point.
Oh yeah.
Greg went out of his way to make it an incredible
Greg
birthday.
spent $115 on that karaoke machine.
It's unbelievable.
And then we plug in all of the software, and you have to pay for the songs.
You get 10 free songs. You buy a $120 device, and you get 10 free songs. So we very carefully select all the songs we're going to play, 60% of which were Toby Keith.
Yep, and Micah Haynes made the point that we were seeing so much Toby Keith that this was really looking more like a Republican Party instead of a Libertarian Party.
Oh my God.
So we decided we did a duet of War Pigs by Black Sabbath, and if I remember correctly, we did a great job.
I think that was
at
a big hit of the party.
You think so?
I
The
think
War
so.
Pigs was?
I think so.
Yeah.
I also I got a free bracelet out of the deal, but I did have to wear it in public the next morning.
Yeah, so Greg gave
Yeah.
you a peace offering.
Yeah.
He said, I
After
loved
I
you
gave
first
him
or something, right? What did it say?
Best friends.
Best friends
It said
forever.
best friends forever.
I had to wear it to breakfast though, and I told him I would wear it if I got free breakfast, and then
You
he
did get
didn't.
free breakfast. It just wasn't from Greg.
That's true.
Yeah.
I always get free breakfast though.
She pays for nothing.
Perks of having boobs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I also paid for Sarah's. I tried to pay for Greg's breakfast, and he wouldn't have it. He had bought stacked pickle for us
That's
after,
because he was
after
supposed
the
to
We
pay
Are
for
Libertarians.
mine.
You did.
Well, you know how it goes. So yeah, the karaoke. The other thing was that we bought this fancy, or Greg bought this fancy karaoke machine. I went upstairs, brought a TV down. There was a lot of IT work for being very buzzed,
So much.
trying to download software, install it on a laptop,
Yep.
put it on a USB drive, convert it over, plug in an HDMI cable. There was a lot going on.
There. Yeah.
Yeah, so the music plays and there's a music video. It's kind of cool. And you're like, oh yeah, there's a music video behind it, and it's the same exact video for every single Toby Keith song.
Yep. And then for the Black Sabbath song that we did, it was like 14-year-old boys doing
On a
like,
BMX bike.
Yeah, doing like wheelies on BMX bikes and taking their pegs and grinding them on a sidewalk edge or something. It was very rebel-esque for a Black Sabbath song.
Yeah. So then we wound up getting cheap. I tried to lay into Greg and get him to give us the credit card. And he's like, I've spent $100 already. I'm not getting you any more songs. So we wound up. We figured out that we could borrow a laptop and go HDMI into it, and then use YouTube. And we had all kinds of music. And the party was going great. We swam, we did all that stuff, and then Spangle started. He did great with Hey Jude. He did some Queen Bohemian Rhapsody. That was fun.
He did
rapped some stuff, and
contemporary Christian worship song.
and then
Which
the party
scared Lindsay.
came to a halt.
yeah,
Scared his date for the evening
So
away.
you brought your 18-year-old sister
I
along.
didn't bring her.
You invited her.
Yes,
She attended,
she did.
and she was there for about an hour.
Yeah, probably.
Had some fun with the attention, and then the attention or creepiness.
It was mostly,
He was singing songs to her.
Yeah.
Like dropping her name in the song.
yeah,
And
very creepy-esque.
then he does the Christian rock song or the Christian praise song. It wasn't even Christian rock. It was like praise and
It was
worship.
like contemporary Christian.
And she
left. She didn't even say bye to me.
mid-song.
She got up and left.
halfway through the song, she leaves.
I had to go outside and make sure she was actually gone, and that I don't know. I don't know.
So yeah, that was the deal. The swimming was mixed. It was August. It was an August party, but it was a little chilly.
It was
The first time we
freezing.
got in the pool, I get in and Dakota. I thought he was playing. His teeth are chattering. He's
Oh,
literally
my
like
teeth were-
uncontrollably chattering.
My teeth were uncontrollably chattering. That's correct. And like Jeremiah and Micah are looking at me like, dude,
Get over it. Yeah.
yeah. Well, you guys really weren't like that, but it was like you thought I was just kidding around.
I did.
And
I was going to come over there and bear hug you for warmth at one point. I was like, he's dying. He's dying in the pool.
I was
It's
freezing,
80,
and that
but the
was
water was
after
80 degrees.
That was after I jumped off of the roof,
That's
and
probably the
it was
problem.
like hypothermic shock or something. Is that a thing, Audrey? You're the medical student.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's just,
Okay.
Can he get hypothermia in 80-degree water though? 'Cause it was very warm.
No.
He was just
Definitely not.
crazy.
But after I got out and I got back in slowly, I was fine.
Yeah, you got back in and you're all right. It was the sudden jump from roof to water, I guess, that just got you.
Yep.
So then you guys went home. We had breakfast. Greg, Sarah, myself, the two of you, and then Micah and his girlfriend. We all met up at Stack's and went to
Yeah.
breakfast.
I was trying to get to go to Park Restaurant.
Greg insisted on
Greg
Stack's.
wouldn't
He
have it.
I
absolutely.
really like sex, so I
Yeah.
don't want to change it up.
It's kind of become the tradition. And then normally what happens is the next morning we just try to remember what actually had occurred. And put the story together. Some have more pieces to the puzzle than others.
This is the first time I've ever been to breakfast after a party.
Yeah, you are really assimilating well now at this point. You're fully in.
Yep.
You're not getting out of it.
I am committed. You hear that, Audrey? When's the next party?
September 9th.
Spangel's birthday, yeah.
September 9th?
It's coming up in just a few weeks.
Yeah, it's the weekend after
I
Labor
am
Day.
already pumped.
Are you?
I am so pumped.
You going to try to keep him sober enough to stay the night so he can help you clean up? So that was the downfall of the party. Is we go to breakfast. Micah and his lady friend had stayed in a local motel.
They have a
hotel.
They
motel.
have a 2.5 hour drive back.
They had to
home.
drive back, so they stayed in a hotel. They did meet us for breakfast. You guys are supposed to stay and didn't. I had blocked out a room for you, but whatever. So it's just me, Greg, and Sarah. So we go down to breakfast, and nobody comes back. Sarah, by the time we go to breakfast, we have a good time. We come back to the house. Actually, Greg and I, after breakfast, Sarah, and I get the nickel tour of Newcastle for Greg because he never really had the tour. And we went to Rural King. We got him his first Rural King experience, which I hope he covers on the big show on We Are Libertarians. But yeah, he'd never been to one before, so he got to see that they had cowboy hats and funnels and motor fluid. And they had a rooster for $150. Who in the hell's going to spend $150 on a rooster?
Yeah, like $16.
Never pay full retail for a rooster, people. Okay, never. You go to the Knightstown Locker and you buy, or the Knightstown auction and you buy one for $15 to $10.
Yeah,
I don't care how nice of a barred rock it is. It was ridiculous. But anyway, but they had furniture. He was
Guns.
absolutely enjoying it. Yeah,
and jalapeno pickled eggs.
they had pickled gizzards.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I mean we checked. We walked down every aisle for Greg's entertainment.
It's like the Spencer's for rednecks.
It's a novelty store. You know you need those ball canning jars. So then we get out of there and come back, and we had said we were going to go bowling. The three of us or the four of us were going to bowl Sunday afternoon. Yeah. So and I'm still recovering from the night before. I drank like 5 cups of coffee. I was wired. I was still hungover, and we bowled. This is the first time I bowled in like 5 years. We met you guys at the bowling alley. Actually, we met you at your house. And we all piled in the minivan, Audrey Jo's minivan, and she drove us to the Rose Bowl in Newcastle, and it's a ridiculously good deal. We got a lane for like 2 hours for $30.
Yeah,
and then you guys covered pizza and drinks or whatever,
which was also like $35.
Yeah, it was a great meal.
We had a pizza, 2 orders of breadsticks, a pitcher of beer, and a pitcher of Dr. Pepper for $35.
That's a deal.
Yeah. Very good deal.
So I did remember that I'm a decent bowler. I think I bowled a 99 to start.
Surprised.
And I think my best was like a 135 or 128 or somewhere in there. But I haven't bowled in like 5 years. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
So
it was the same amount of time for me, and I think I bowled a 41 round.
So you were very close. A couple of times you were hanging in there, and then you had one frame. You had like 3 frames in a row where you couldn't hit anything. I think you got uber competitive and pissed off at yourself or something. I don't know.
I did. I was psyching myself out. I get very competitive in my head.
So it's the first time I bowled there that they had beer. It's been a lot of upgrades. They had beer. They had new equipment. It was very, very fancy. So
new arcade.
They had an arcade, yeah. So we all got Fun Dip.
Yeah, that was our prize for spending $10 at the arcade. Was 3 things of Fun Dip.
We each got Fun Dip and I think you got a Tootsie Roll or something.
Yeah, 1 Tootsie Roll.
1 Tootsie Roll and a Pixie Stick.
That's right. So that's all right. It was fun. And then so after you're like, hey, what's next? Or we're like, all right, I guess we're going back. And you took us grocery shopping.
Yeah. Hey, that stuff needs to get done sometime.
Grocery shopping.
It needs to get done sometime.
It was great. I'm an Aldi shopper too.
I ended up having to go back the next day. So
what'd you forget?
I didn't forget anything. The bananas went bad. Like they went
instantaneously.
It was like overnight. They just got completely brown.
They were disgusting.
I've had some mixed results with produce over there. I bought some stuff that went bad pretty quick the last time I was in there.
It's because they use all that all organic crap.
Sarah blamed me for not refrigerating things, and I was like, I don't know. It shouldn't. I mean,
should you refrigerate bananas?
No. I don't think so.
No.
You should hang bananas, but you shouldn't be refrigerating
bananas
them.
Spoil faster if you refrigerate them. Don't you listen to the Bob and Tom show? Tom Griswold.
Very rarely.
He refrigerates his bananas, and they spoil faster, but he said it doesn't matter because they taste better in the refrigerator.
Sometimes they're a little too aspy for me.
Cold. I like my bananas with Asperger's. Yes. so that was our Sunday, and then following the that whole weekend, Dakota that night is like very excited about the show, like more energy coming out of Dakota and excitement and just like a stream of consciousness channeling his father Greg Lenz, where he's got all these ideas. And I'm like, all right, man, let's just get together tomorrow night. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
So what do you have planned? What's the vision?
Well, here's the deal. We went to the big show last week, right? And I'm sitting there, and I got a really good opportunity to look at everything because I was so distracted by another
other guest
performance. Yes, another guest performance on the show. So I had a lot of time to look around it, like the ambiance of the general studio that Chris has set up over there, and I was like,
it's a 1-bedroom apartment in southern Indianapolis, and you walk inside and there's a kitchen, and then the middle room or the middle space, it's a very open concept, very very fancy. You walk in, there's a kitchen, and then a full TV studio, and then his living room, and a bedroom off the side.
Yeah, I mean he has professional lighting. He has that are controlled by his iPad, fully dimmable by his iPad. Has like the sound wave absorbers on the walls, and
he has padded walls for multiple reasons.
Yeah, and I was sitting there thinking about, I'm like, if Chris can do this in an open concept 1-bedroom apartment, I have a 3-bedroom 2-story house. We can make a killer studio in there, and then it's been probably since I was a freshman in high school, I've wanted to create a YouTube channel, like a YouTube show, but I've never had a friend that was willing to do it. So I was like, this is
my opportunity.
Yeah, this is the golden opportunity. Jeremiah is the perfect candidate. And so yeah, that's where all the energy came from. And I was like fervorously looking things up on YouTube and on Amazon and other blogs about making your own YouTube channel, about how I could make this 3rd bedroom, which is now a home office, into a podcasting / eventually a YouTube studio.
So this is going to be the Dodger Davis Memorial Studio.
Yes. Yeah.
This was Dodger's room.
This has always been the home office.
Oh, okay. I thought each dog had their own spare bedroom.
They did, but Daisy's in his room now.
Okay.
Because it's bigger.
Where am I going to stay in there?
Well, see, when
the podcast goes too long.
There's gonna be a futon. I have this all laid out on a piece of graph paper at work. I've drawn it all out exactly how I envision it.
I told you this morning he takes work way too seriously.
And
he did. He didn't reply back. Audrey and I had a group text without you.
It was graphic.
You did?
Yeah.
Yeah. Once again, look at your damn phone.
On accident.
The two of us were talking back and forth for quite a while, and then she wound up just replying to me directly.
On accident.
Yeah. Yeah. If you look at your text, there's probably things you haven't answered from me from May at this point.
Yeah, probably.
I'll get back to him when I can.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you usually send it in text format, but then it ends up being transferred over into Messenger. So it's not like the questions have gone unanswered. They've just not been answered in a text message.
No, there's only been a couple weekends where I asked for to take care of Riley, and he just went and starved. But he seems to have forgiven you now. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's not a problem.
He seems all right.
It's fine. No, I just... You've met me. I'm very persistent. If I need an answer, I'll get an answer out of you.
You're very persistent.
I will wear you out.
Oh my gosh.
I am so exhausted. Why? Looks through phone. 30 messages from Jeremiah and Morrell.
Yeah, you still couldn't get Greg's address.
Yeah, so that was the wedding invites thing. You sent out invites, or you're going to.
I'm going to.
And Greg's father, or Dakota's father, Greg, you got his mailing address,
yes,
and you got pissed because he gave you
a
UPS store.
It was a UPS store. I was like, seriously?
No, here's the deal. I got home from work, and she is in the kitchen, and she looks at me and goes, "Guess what?" I was like, "What?" She said, "I have Greg's address." I'm like, "What?" She goes, "Yeah, I have his address, and nobody else does." I said, "Are you kidding me? Like, how does that happen?" So we go and like sit down on the couch or whatever. A couple of hours pass, And she's looking at her phone, and then all of a sudden she looks at me and she goes, "He gave me a fake address. Look at this. This is a UPS store. This isn't the real thing."
I tried to calm it down. I was like, well, he's probably homeless.
I was very upset about it.
She was.
Very upset about the situation.
The wedding is over. It's off. Greg lied to us.
So Audrey and I both start messaging Greg, and turns out he lives such a secretive life. Like, not even Chris Spangle knows Greg's address. He lives such a secretive life that he has created a UPS box to have things shipped to him so that people don't know his actual address.
Those are like Bittner levels. Bittner is the only other person I know that hides his home address that much, where he wouldn't tell anybody. So, Greg Lenz, I know you're listening. You've achieved Bittner status with your secrecy.
Don't say that. That's very insulting.
Oh my!
That's the way I feel.
Man,
Bittner status. It's that bad.
Man, we are a force divided on this
Truck
issue.
wrecker.
I don't know, because later on in the night, it wasn't a secret anymore.
You know where he lives?
I don't, but Audrey does.
And so does my mom.
It was the pie. The pie is the reason why he
It
did
was
that.
the pie. I knew I should have made that. It was for a reason.
Should have made that a long
Why
time
does your
ago.
mom know?
Well, I
She's
had to
gonna
give
mail
it to. She had to print off a label to put on the envelopes,
Oh.
so I had to write it down for her.
Okay, that makes sense.
She really did not care whatsoever. I tried to explain the importance to her. No,
Whatever. Not at all on her radar.
no, did not care.
Now she just has to figure out what aunt can't come.
So Jeremiah, I was thinking today while I was in the shower.
Oh
These
my!
are
Oh, look. Thinks about me when he's dreaming and when he's in the shower.
Yeah.
Hashtag shower thoughts. I was thinking about children and how we have that bet going on.
Yes, sir.
How old will you be in 8 years?
42.
Yep.
42.
You know how old I'll be in 8 years?
Younger than me at this point.
29.
Yeah.
That
Sure.
is incredible to think about to me. I can remember throwing my dad's 42nd birthday.
Well, sure. I do too. I remember my dad's 42nd birthday.
That's just so weird. Like, imagining you as 42. I don't know how. That doesn't sit well with me at all.
Well, let's all hope I make it.
Oh my!
Are you gonna hobble up on your walker with handing me a $50 bill?
I'll be on my hover ramp.
Wait, so does this deal
I'll-
go both ways? Does bet go both ways?
Yeah.
No kids for 8 years for both?
Yeah,
or
if-
just
no,
Dakota?
No, just me.
No, for
Oh.
him. If he
Jeremiah
has
is
a
definitely
kid,
gonna have kids within 8
Oh,
years.
okay.
if he has, yeah, because I'll be 42.
I'm going to
Because by the time the first kid is 20, I would be 62 years old and drawing on my 401k.
I'm just going to say this is progressing very quickly with the children. We're sitting at how many people can sit at this table?
8 very comfortably, probably 10 somewhat uncomfortably.
Probably a couple high chairs in there, and also a very large Tahoe.
Yeah, so the Tahoe. 2 weeks ago we talked about the Tahoe, and it's real now. It's here.
And kid friendly.
Very disappointing though. I bought it specifically
and,
so that I could take you and Audrey and Sarah and I to the state fair, and then you welched on me today.
Yep.
True.
Canceled. So now I
And
need to
then,
sell. I have a GMC Sierra and a Tahoe for sale because it's pointless now.
We're-
I got a DVD
Hold
player
on,
for you to get 2 kids to
Jeremiah's
sit in the
trying
back.
to change the conversation here. We're going back to how he's preparing for children. Mm-hmm. He also has a 3-bedroom house.
He doesn't know how to count.
You have 4?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You have a 4-bedroom house,
Yeah.
and one of them's not going to become a studio.
So one is a guest room, and then the other one is a guest room / workout room, and then I have a
Yeah.
home office, and I have a bedroom.
I have one less room than that.
Right.
I'm
You don't work from
just
home
saying.
on a regular
You're-
basis. I do.
No, that's true.
And you don't have a home gym. I have a Bowflex machine that's never been used, and a that I bought very cheaply, and I have a treadmill that I do use. I didn't need my treadmill the other day. Dakota was going to help me Monday night. I had the Tahoe was dropped off at the mechanics 1.3 miles away, and he was going to help me out. He was going to pick me up and help me pick up the Tahoe. He's texted me, "Sorry, work called. I've got to go." I look out my window because Dakota works in my neighborhood. He's picking up his work car. I look out the window, and his Chevy Sonic drives by at 2 miles an hour.
Oh, my.
He's going to drive by exactly where I need to go to.
What a douche.
I jump up. I look at him. I look out there. I'm like, oh, my God, he's a dick. I pick up my phone. I call him, and I said, man, what the hell?
Well, I'm surprised he answered.
He answered. Like, I'm the imposition.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, we'll just do that after. I'm like, you could have brought me that far. I was like,
totally
it was incredulous.
Forgot about it. I completely forgot about the Tahoe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But what did you end up doing, Jer?
So instead of having to use my treadmill, I walked the 1.3 miles.
Yeah, I offered a solution.
Yes. So I walk, and I walked through your work parking lot to get to where I was going. I was... a third of the trip was in my neighborhood to get to your, because I live on the north side of the neighborhood and your office is on the south side of the neighborhood.
Yep, that's correct.
So, and then I'm like, I'm going to creep shot your car. I'm walking through, and I'm kind of close to the fence because your car is in a very secure area.
Yeah,
there's like chain link fence and then like
barbed
wire and stuff above it. Which your car's fancy parked, backed in, and I'm going to take his creep shot and send it into the group chat. And somebody in one of your company fusions comes rolling by and comes up within about 3 feet of me. So I just turn and walk away. So I was unable to get the creep shot.
It's okay. I ride my bike to work sometimes.
Yeah.
We've talked about this before.
Yeah, and your Huffy.
Yeah, one time, one of the engineers was going into the gate, and I was like, ooh, I'll just slide in right past him so I don't have to scan my badge, you know. And he goes inside and tells the dispatch lady that there was a guy following him in on a bicycle, and he thinks that one of the guys needs to go check it out. Just me.
You knew the guy?
Yeah, it was just one of the linemen.
Right.
And he walks outside and just sees me and just starts busting out laughing. And he tells me, like, oh, you know, Dave came in there and said that some homeless guy was on a bike behind him.
You had a strong beard game at that time.
Dave said that he never said homeless guy.
So I haven't shaved since you haven't shaved, by the way. I don't know if you've noticed this or not.
Is that...
That's what I did,
really?
yeah. And my boss,
okay.
Wednesday I go to work. I hadn't been to the office in a few days because I travel, and I went in. My boss saw me and said, did you lose your razor? I said, no, I'm just doing a thing. And then today I went in and saw our barber, Clay. He's like, are you growing a beard? I'm like, no, this is just for fun. So now we're back together, and it's been 2 weeks, and I barely look like I have anything, and you're back to being... Jewish again, I guess. I don't know. So I do think I have a better mustache, barely. But yeah. So we'll get it. We'll try to get a picture.
My mustache was also shaved like 4 days after my beard. It's got some catching up to do.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I've got the neck beard though. I would fit in with the Gen Con people very well right now.
Yeah.
If I got some sort of a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle shirt and a cape, I could fit right in with those guys.
Yeah, make sure you carry around a really greasy turkey leg too.
It's not the state fair.
It's in town at the same time. You know that.
True. I probably need to shave this before Saturday. I know you won't be with me for me to embarrass you, but I will be with some other folks.
I will be at Scooters, the local bar in Newcastle, if anybody wants to stop by.
Within stumbling distance of your home.
Yep.
So anyway, all right, so we interrupted you. You were so you've got these plans for a studio.
Yeah.
So we're going to move Boss Hog of Liberty Studios.
Yeah.
We've got a commitment from Dear Leader that we're going to get some new artwork that you're going to be included in. So we're going to try to give you co-branding as a big timer. Because are you going to spend your own money on this? You're going to spend a couple $1,000s on equipment, or what's the game plan?
Well, I mean, I didn't think it was going to be just me. You got to pitch in too, Jer.
I just bought a Tahoe for the show.
For the show?
Yeah. For us to have wheels.
I mean, I'm the one that I have to. Not only is there equipment to buy, but I have to redo the room as well. Like, I need to do the sound paneling. Need to get a table. It needs new flooring and a door. Blackout shades.
So maybe it's time for an ask.
Yeah.
We have listeners that always call us and tell us they're listening. They let us know that they appreciate the show. Now it's time for some fans of the Boss Hog of Liberty to pitch in and help Dakota and I offset some of these costs.
It's like a Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Make Dakota's childhood dream come true.
Dream come true. I mean, seriously though, it's gonna be a couple of $1,000s. I've been adding up the costs, and just the flooring is like $300.
So we're going to put a floor in your house that you need anyway.
Yeah.
But you want to expense that to the show.
No,
You've got a
I'm
future in
good with
Congress.
that. I've already picked out the flooring and it's getting ready to be purchased.
All right.
At our local Lowe's. But what we are
Local.
asking for, yeah,
Muncie.
Muncie.
Yeah.
And
Shout out to Muncie Lowe's.
what we're talking about though is, of course, like the sound paneling. We need lighting if we're going to do an actual show. But I think what we want to focus on first is getting the studio made to make our audio quality better. Just for the show and make it look more professional. If we have guests on the show, people like Clay Morgan, Darren Jacobs, whenever they come in.
Patrick Calvert, when he comes back from his assignment.
Yeah.
He's been up in Wisconsin. All right, so let's do this. You put together an Amazon wish list of items that you need for this.
Yes, I have.
So what we'll do is we will take the Amazon wish list, we'll put it on the Boss Hog of Liberty Facebook page, and if people are interested in helping out, instead of giving them a wedding present, instead of Audrey and Dakota's gift registry, we'll have the Boss Hog of Liberty registry for the new studio.
Yes.
And we'll take all the support we can get. We'll see how far we go, and start to build this thing.
Tables, chairs. There's so many things, Jeremiah.
There's a lot to do.
Yep.
Well, we can start small. We've got some folding tables if we have to, but I think the cameras in the background are probably first, and we'll work our way up.
Yep.
So as we're on our way to that, though, we can now reach you. The Dear Leader provides for us. We know that.
He does.
Chris Spangle, of our host, We Are Libertarians. You can now reach Dakota by emailing dakota@bosshogliberty.com.
That's right.
Or you can reach me, Jeremiah, at bosshogliberty.com. And if you go to bosshogliberty.com, it redirects to our fireside page, which now has something else on there.
Yeah, we've started a blog on there. That was another one of my my childhood dreams, was to have a successful blog.
So immediately you said, I'm going to have a blog, and the first thing I'm going to write about are Nazis.
Yes. First thing
In true libertarian fashion.
The first thing I'm going to focus my blog on is Nazis. Not only Nazis, but punching Nazis.
It's not like punching a clown or punching the clown. That's truly punching Nazis.
Are you trying to equate Nazis with clowns? I mean,
No,
one
you need
entertains
to
children, the other does not do a great job
If
of
you
entertaining
entertain your
people.
kids by punching a clown, you need to Google that right now, Dakota. Urban Dictionary.
What?
He's
I
lost
have no
it.
idea
I've lost
what
him.
you're talking
yeah,
about.
no, it's
Oh, okay. I have to Google it now.
yeah. He's gonna Google it, and he's gonna go, oh man, it's a Varsity Blues. Did you ever watch Varsity Blues? Or are you too much of a child?
I don't even know what that is.
What?
What's that mean?
Varsity Blues is a movie made in 1999, so you would have been 3. Damn it! God, that sucks. I was in high school.
Oh, man. Punch the clown. The act of male masturbation.
Yeah, it's very different.
Oh,
Interesting.
interesting.
Punching
Yeah.
Nazis.
Very different than punching Nazis. We're talking about literally throwing fisticuffs with a Nazi. And whether or not it is the correct response to whenever you... The way I put it in the article or the blog was you're walking down the street. Like I'm walking down the street in Charlottesville.
Charlottesville, Indiana, over in Hancock County on 40.
No, that is incorrect.
Oh, so when this
Not
whole thing
Indiana.
started, I thought there was a big problem over in Hancock County.
No.
Saturday morning.
Hancock County is fine as far as I know.
They're doing all right.
Yeah, but
You can't
however,
you can't go back towards Newcastle from 9 though. I remembered that when I drove too far north yesterday on 9.
Bad mistake.
Bad mistake.
But no, this is in Virginia. I'm saying I'm walking down the street in Charlottesville, Virginia. I'm looking to meet a lady for dinner that night.
Rolling down the street.
All of a
smoking
sudden,
Indos,
there are
sipping on
3,000
Jesus, laid
men,
back.
white Aryan men, who are carrying torches and shouting.
Much like you, we've learned
Yeah,
now.
they're shouting. Do you know what they were shouting in the rally?
No, go ahead.
They're shouting, "The Jews will not replace us." Like that is the least catchy catchphrase I've ever heard in my life. Like, you know, the Antifa people, and I think it was coined by Fallout Boy, was the no Trump, no KKK, no fascist USA. Like that actually has like a ring to it. You know, it's like it's got a beat almost.
Sure.
But the Jews will not replace us. And There's literally
We shall overcome. No, that's
no, wrong people. They're marching down the street, and there's a little over 3,000 of them. They're carrying.
It's a college town.
Yeah, they're carrying tiki torches that have been hacked in half, that are ironically made in Indonesia. We won't get into that though. Then they're shouting, "The Jews will not replace us." What is the correct reaction to that?
You note that they're there, and you say whatever, and you move on with your day because they don't matter.
Or
That's what you should do. You should ignore them.
Do you punch them? Immediately hash it out. Do you have shields made out of trash can lids, and then you have a baseball bat, but then you didn't think it through because
you go full Anchorman.
Yeah,
and
a baseball bat.
News teams assemble.
A baseball bat is a two-handed weapon, but you've used one hand with the shield, so your baseball bat capabilities have greatly decreased. It's like you're playing Skyrim, and then a great sword takes two hands, whereas a regular sword is
Skyrim?
one.
You walked around with your hands on fire playing Skyrim all the time?
Oh yeah, I was huge about Skyrim.
Really?
Yeah,
Huh.
love that game and Fallout.
Yeah, you're much younger than I am.
I never got into
We didn't have
like the Call of
three-dimensional
Duty
games. Yeah. Oh, I was so good at Call of Duty.
Really?
Yeah.
I never got into
I used to play the World at War one. Audrey, you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We could go play now after this is over.
Audrey really likes video games.
I do. I
Yeah.
really enjoy video games.
Audrey and I play split screen Gears of War, and we can smash a berserker in like 2.3 seconds.
I really do like Call of Duty, though.
We're gonna have a LAN party over here one day. You're gonna bring Xbox One over. I'll bring mine over, and I've got 2 TVs in the other room. We're gonna have some fun.
I always
anyway,
have favorite guns.
Anyway, oh yeah, yeah. World at War is great. Anyway, back to your story about the Nazis.
Yeah. So, being my age, being a young millennial, 21 years old,
And me being one of the oldest millennials on the face of the earth at 34.
So I don't know if it is just a young millennial type thing, but I have a lot of friends on my timeline that are like super lefties. Yeah, are you the same way, or is it just young millennials?
See, I've got a lot of friends that are young millennials, but there's a lot of lefties for sure. Anybody that's like 26 and younger, if you can still be on your parents' insurance, there's a pretty good chance that you're one of those lefties that you're talking about.
Yeah.
But the Bernie bros, the Bernie crowd.
Yeah, and I mean I have a ton of friends that are Bernie bros, and so I'm constantly seeing memes that have like Richard Spencer getting punched in the face, or equating Captain America fighting actual Nazis in Nazi Germany to the Charlottesville riots, and scenes from the movie Inglourious Basterds, like what do I want for Christmas in 2017? 1,000 Nazi scalps. Once again, equating to
Great Tarantino film.
actual Nazis. Like these Nazis are
Real Nazis.
killing millions of Jews. My people, 5% of my blood. These people are being murdered by the millions by actual Nazis. The Nazis that were in Charlottesville are white trash pieces of scum.
They're opportunists.
Yeah, 32. If you gathered 32 of the white supremacist protesters that were in Charlottesville, you would have a full set of teeth. That is the type of people that we're talking about.
Now, let's be careful because Drew Leader had a bad week and he had some dentistry work done and he doesn't have as many as he had before.
Uh-oh.
Also, my brother, who appeared up on this podcast 2 episodes ago, also just lost some teeth in a dental incident. So let's be careful about
what's happening with people's teeth around here.
The fluoride in the water, I guess. I don't know.
No.
Or the lack of it.
It's the lack of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you just drink your fluoride, your teeth are going to be okay.
James Neese and Chris Spangle have the absolute worst teeth in the We Are Libertarians empire.
Yeah.
Neese today was talking about wanting to do a GoFundMe to get Spangle to pull his teeth, get him some dentures and a grill that said Wall.
Oh, that would be...
It would be the greatest thing ever.
that.
Yeah.
That would be hilarious.
Let's fund our studio first, then we'll work on Spangle's grill.
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
So anyway, all right. So
we should set up a GoFundMe for the studio.
We'll see.
I'm going to do it.
We'll get there.
Yep. Just decided. It's happening.
Let's see. You never know. We could have a
Ron
benefactor.
Paul, it's happening.
So you wrote this very, very well put together piece. I assume on company time because you had the idea. You found out you could do a blog.
No.
You spent most of a work day, and then it was posted. I'm sure you had it all in your head, and you just had to type it out.
It took me
real
like
quick.
an hour and a half at the most.
Did you type it out on your phone?
No. Oh, God, no.
No.
I could probably do something like that on my phone, but the my Kindle. I have the Kindle so I can read group chats and I can turn the music on and stuff in the house. But when I try to reply to something on a Kindle, it is the worst experience of my life trying to type with that. It's brutal.
Almost everything that I've done on my Kindle is the worst experience I've had in my life.
But they're only $30 and they do work technically.
They work great for if you're reading an ebook.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Reading, I don't do a lot of reading. But I will take it with me if I'm traveling or if it's around the house. I've got them laying around and they work as a remote control for my Google Music, which is great. And I do, my phone will die or I'll have it in the other room and I'll grab a Kindle that's laying around and I can read a group chat. I can't reply, but I can actually read it.
You can read it.
So I keep myself up to speed.
Right.
All right. So anyway, this is the first of your writing. We expect more of it. It looks good.
Yeah.
I'll probably
I wrote a
write
couple
something out here and there.
articles for the Courier last year. Do you remember that?
I do.
2016 election season?
Yeah.
I think I wrote 3. I submitted a 4th, but the editor lady told me that there has to be 30 days between.
Yes, they really crack down on that stuff when it comes to election time, where their policy, our local paper, they don't want to have the same people write over and over and over again, because you just kind of end up monopolizing the opinion page.
That's what I'm going to do.
Hey, you could write a column. Rex Bell writes a column once a month, and it gets printed in about a half dozen papers around East Central Indiana. So, all right. So we got some big things planned for the show. We're in this Charlottesville deal. I've got some thoughts. There was a really good article that I printed out that was kind of I think it was sent out Monday or Tuesday when, you over the weekend, if you're not watching the news, you really don't know. You just kind of start to hear rumblings of something had happened, and by Monday, the whole world's starting to freak out about it. And here by Friday, the president's supposed to resign, and, it's just been, It's been awful. Or he didn't condemn Nazis fast enough. And there's an article by a guy named Ben Shapiro that was shared off We Are Libertarians. It's the Daily Wire is the people that had it. But it's 7 things you need to know about Charlottesville violence and the white supremacist terror attack is what the name of the story was. And it was mostly just trying to help people understand exactly what had happened. So if you wanted just a very quick understand what it was, who the people were, I really encourage you to go look for that. There's about 1.4 million people have looked at it already, read that article. So 300 million people in the country and 1.4 million read this guy's article. It's very well done. But the main thing that I got out of it was talking about the labels. And to me, said the alt-right is not conservatives, which is true. I think the true alt-right has been a very, very small group of people. And everybody, we throw labels around very quickly and we start to toss people in and then you think, well, shoot, if they mean the alt-right is conservatives, then I need to defend the alt-right.
Right.
And then you realize you end up, then the next thing you know, you get lumped in and you're defending Nazis. And that's really not what you mean.
And that's kind of what happened to Donald Trump. Like, whenever he came up and he made his speech, which he totally called out the media during that speech. Like, I mean, we've seen him look at the reporters and go, "You are fake news." This was like on a totally different level. He's like, "I've done my research. You have not done any research. I know what I'm talking about. And if you guys would actually read, then you would know what you're talking about." And it was like totally unprofessional for a president. I'll give him that. But the media has spun out of control. I think that we can acknowledge that at least.
The president also had been given a prepared statement, and he just kept it in his pocket and spoke on his own, which is normally not a good plan for him.
No, it's not. Because he literally reaches into his pocket and says, "I have my statement right here." But he ends up saying there were a lot of what happened in Charlottesville was totally disgusting. He said that. And there were...
The biggest feedback got, or the fight he got, was that he said there was stuff happening on both sides.
Yeah, he said there were horrible people on both sides that contributed to the violence that happened in Charlottesville, which is totally correct. It's just like what we were talking about. These stupid Antifa people were trying to wield a great sword with one hand whenever it actually takes two. And you can't just go to an organized protest with permits, even if they are Nazis, and just start throwing punches and pepper spraying and macing people and hitting them with bats and clubs and expect them not to retaliate.
No matter how much you disagree with somebody, they have the right to assemble and to be there.
Right.
And you can stand there and yell at them and shout at them. But the better thing to do is just ignore them.
Right. But I totally do understand the argument that can be made. Yes, they are carrying a Nazi flag. By carrying a Nazi flag, you are you are legitimately telling people, yes, I do want people that I deem to be impure to be eradicated from the face of the earth. That is what you're saying, and that could be a threat of violence. However, if they're not threatening violence, if they're just carrying a flag, you don't know. Like, you have no idea. This could be some stupid 4chan Redditor or somebody that is carrying this Nazi flag to be
just for the shock value.
Edgy.
Yeah. Which I think is what a lot of it is. And you know, young people will joke about things all the time, and you'll hear people, you'll see people make jokes and, you know, play with that media, but most people actually don't believe it.
Right.
It's there are so few people that are actually truly Nazis or truly this fringe group. And it sucks people in. I know our national chairman Nick Sarwark and Tom Woods both have been having this huge Twitter war. Which, if you're listening to the show and you don't know who the libertarians are, you don't need to know who they are. They're just celebritarians. They're important to libertarians, but they're not important on. If you're going to vote, you don't care. They literally. It's like nerd football. Nobody cares. And that's been my biggest. You know, the Charlottesville thing. Obviously, that's awful. But inside of the libertarian movement, people are getting all worked up and butthurt over these two individuals. Tom Woods has a podcast, and he gets about 20,000 listens an episode. And Nick is our national chair and a friend of mine. I think Nick accused Tom Woods of being too close to this alt-right group and being involved with one of the organizations that was there. And true or not, who cares? But Nick basically, on behalf of the National Party, said we are not in favor of bigotry, and he gave a very good statement. You know, the type of thing that he should have said.
I shared it on my Facebook page.
But then it led into this nasty Twitter war that didn't really help any of them. And it kind of led me to the thought the other night about celebritarians. And whether it's Tom Woods or Nick Sarwark or the idiot James Neese, that guy's an idiot too. James Weeks, the guy that got naked at the national convention, nobody cares or knows who any of those people are. I'm my own thought leader. I'll listen to what's going on in the world. I have my libertarian ideas and understand, but I don't spend a lot of time reading these other libertarians and getting into the echo chamber.
Yeah, there's no purpose to it for me.
So other than the entertainment, some of you guys listen to Alex Jones, which whatever, I don't care. I would much rather listen to Danny Lipford do a home improvement podcast, or Pete the Planner do a money podcast, or Steve Zabin talk about the sports.
I don't think I've ever met anybody that unironically listens to Alex Jones. Like, everybody I know listens to Alex Jones just to catch his tidbits of absolute absurdity. And it's golden.
So I guess my point, or what my little weigh in on this thing, is for the libertarians that are out there. If you want to call me one, you've got low standards, but we put this out. But I'm really interested in influencing people in my community and being involved in my community, and that's what drives me. And I'm not doing this stuff, for any sort of. My goal in this is not to become a libertarian and get invited to speak at the Nebraska State LP Convention or the Florida LP Convention at some point. That's not where I'm going with any of this. It's to influence people and to have fun doing it. But it's about local elections and local involvement and trying to make things happen in my community. And that's what I hope the listeners. I know we have people listening all over the country and, in fact, the world.
Yeah, and that's one of my main goals. Like, with talking about redoing a studio, coming up with a YouTube channel, and this all needs to happen before 2018 starts, before the election cycle actually ramps up. I want to have people that are running for public office, counselors who are trying to run for their council seats that are incumbents or they are trying to get elected newly, mayoral candidates in 2019. I want to build a base and a reputation that is well enough within our community in central Indiana to invite these people onto the shows and them actually think, yeah, I should do that. That to me is the ultimate goal for this podcast and eventually YouTube channel. I want I want us to be taken seriously as an actual media outlet for Henry County or the Newcastle area.
Based upon that, we've announced a 6-year suspension for Tanner Purdue after his last activities.
After the last episode.
No, Tanner's a good friend, but it'll probably be a little while before he's back on by his own choice. But we do, we want to have fun with this. We definitely want to have fun, but we also do want to be a platform that people can listen to and have reason. I think we're both very pragmatic, and this is definitely fun. We enjoy doing these episodes and the show, and are excited to see how it grows. So, we got any final thoughts? With the dog, is
Riley farted.
Yeah,
it's horrible.
He held it for as long as he could.
Is he drinking on the toilet right now?
Probably. He's got to wash his mouth out.
How do you manage that?
Huh?
I was just in there. I put the seat down. How did
Oh, he's very crafty.
Really?
Oh, yes.
Interesting.
You can't stop him. There's no.
That
way.
is brilliant. Training your dog to lift the seat up.
He does it on his own.
Dakota, you left the seat up on the toilet again.
No, it was
the dog.
Is that what I sound like?
Actually, that.
Oh no.
Is that what I sound like?
Oh no.
No.
Well, you're on an island now. I can't help you.
Yep. I know. I dug the hole myself. That's okay.
What you need to do is finish that other bathroom, so you have one upstairs for you, and there's downstairs for her to use.
Yeah, and it's already got the washer and dryer in it too. How
Is it?
convenient.
Is it done?
Very
No.
interesting.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say you're working
For
Monday
someone
and
who
Tuesday
made
on it.
the dean's list.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, we
So,
forgot to mention that.
How did she work that one in there? So you made a mistake.
I did.
I looked at our Snapchat the other day, and all of a sudden, our Snapchat group, and all of a sudden, Audrey Jo Davis, as I put her in my phone, because Audrey Jo Davis is in our Snapchat group.
That's not a mistake. That was by purpose.
I'm looking.
I
and all of a
also
sudden-
added her into the most glorious empire of We Are Libertarians Facebook group.
Did you immediately leave that group?
I have not yet, but I plan on it.
Yeah, it's a lot.
She was upset because Greg wasn't texting her back.
I was very upset. I tried to find out what kind of pie Chris liked.
Oh,
No one texted me
And
back.
she's like, "Why isn't he texting her back?" And
I sent one to
and-
you too.
I never heard that one.
I sent it to
Greg.
both of you.
look at it.
But
Listen
not-
to him stumbling along.
No,
I sent it to both of you to try to find out what kind of pie Chris liked.
I've never heard that one. Is that for his birthday party coming up?
Yeah, interesting.
We've got weeks.
I sent it like 2 days ago. Well, I still haven't got my
Jeremiah's
pie
starting to
pie
sound
back.
like me.
I'm gonna
So-
check the records.
Yeah, you're starting to sound like me, Jeremiah.
So,
Did you send it to the two of us at once, or just me?
no, I think I just sent them individually.
I'm scrolling.
No, but
back.
she wanted to know why he wasn't texting her back, and I was like, "You have no idea how much Greg has going on at one time on the internet. He's probably got 4 group chats open right now. He's writing 2 or 3 articles for the We Are Libertarians group and his personal blog and Facebook page, and he's updating his Tumblr and his Instagram and his Twitter and his Facebook.
And he's on
all
Black.
At the same
He's on
time.
Black People Meet, and he has 2 Facebook pages because he got
Yeah.
killed off once. He's
So-
got a lot going on.
Interesting.
So she's like, "Really?" So I added her to the group. I'm like, "Watch."
Yeah.
Well,
And he does it all with a BlackBerry.
Yep.
BlackBerry. He's that guy. He's still holding on.
That's.
oh
I was actually
my.
looking at some BlackBerry phones the other
Please
day.
don't. Please stop.
Their new ones are pretty decent. And
Hey,
whenever we brought it up, did you see that in group chat? I brought it up to Greg. I was like, "Man, some of the new BlackBerries are actually pretty nice." And he's like, "Do not make BlackBerries cool again." He's just trying to be hipster.
He drives a Honda Ridgeline. Okay.
I think we got away from the topic at hand.
There really wasn't
Pie.
a topic at hand.
Were
I
we at
think
pie?
there-
We were trying
I
to
made
wrap
the
up.
dean's list.
Oh,
yeah.
it's back to Audrey Jo again.
Yes.
So we were looking in the Snapchat group, and I'm scrolling through, and all of a sudden Audrey Jo's like, "Oh my gosh, I made it."
Well, I found
Purdue."
Hannah first.
No.
And then you and Hannah Weber
Yes.
go to the same school.
I know. I had no idea. I really had no idea.
Do you have any classes together?
No.
You carpool
I
her
don't even
from-
know what her major is.
I have no idea. I don't know. Caskets.
ask
I'm
me.
not sure.
Casket. Is it really? Like, or is she?
She does work at a casket.
She works down there at the Casket Carnival in Batesville. Casket Carnival. That's a Bob and Tom bit too. If you go Google that, from probably before you were born.
Anyways, I'm very salty. I didn't get a letter in the mail
From me,
No,
from the school.
From the school.
I never got notified that.
they never
I made-
let you know. Did
She
you?
had no
Did-
idea
was
she
it
had
in the
made the
newspaper?
dean's list.
I was just scrolling through the list of everyone because they have it listed by state and then by cities and who got it in the cities.
You and some other guy from Spiceland.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. But yeah.
You're from Spiceland, Indiana, and you didn't know who the other dude was that
No, I
made
have
it.
no idea.
A town of 700 people.
Yeah.
And you don't know who the other guy that goes to your school is that made the
I
dean's
have
list.
no idea. I feel like
He's the
I
one other
might.
college-educated person
You know,
from Spiceland.
I think I do. I think I do know who it is now. This is the first thing that was throwing me off. I don't think he went by that try.
Yeah.
I think he went by a different name. But I know the last name.
Very
yeah.
good.
That school never sent me a freaking
Your
certificate.
baby sister, I saw she checked into Ball State today. Chirp, chirp.
Yep. First day at Ball State today.
Might not want to put that in the podcast. Chris might get a hand of that.
Well,
He probably will be going up there to visit Kat.
we've assigned Kat to take her under the wing. I checked
I
in
have
today
been-
to see if they've worked each other out.
I have Snapchatted Kat. I have texted Kat, and she has totally abandoned us.
She's MIA. We're
My
going to
mo-
have to go up there and find her.
My mom was very concerned that I gave Chris Lindsay's Snapchat and number. And I told her it was okay. He's in love with another woman.
Is your mother reacting well to all of this?
No, she
you've gotten
really
in-
does not care.
You've gotten in very deep very quickly.
Does not care.
You've been very accepting of these life changes.
Yeah, my
All right.
mom does not care at all.
All right. Well, I think we're at the end of the list. We've made it to the bottom of our list here. Is there anything final thoughts wise, Audrey Jo Peavie Davis, that we need to cover?
I don't think so.
You made the dean's list.
I did. I'm looking for a job, so someone hire me.
Okay, so are you going to school, or are you going to
Yeah, I'm
need
going
a
to
job?
school. I need a part-time
You
job.
start next week.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and you need a part-time job.
She needs
I
to
do.
start pulling her weight at the house, paying some bills.
She doesn't even live there, does
I
she?
don't.
Have you
No, I
moved
don't.
in? Is
No.
this an announcement?
I do not live there.
How many nights a week?
Just the weekends.
That's the same. That's the same as Sarah's.
The
All right.
weekends and Sunday nights, usually.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. So that's it from you. We're at
That's it.
All right.
Hire me.
Maurice is if you're listening.
Audrey Jo at BossHogOfLiberty.com. That doesn't work yet. All right.
Dang.
No, she is a host now.
Is she?
I made her
You've
a host.
listed her on there?
Yeah.
Did you fill out
He
the
adds
did
me
you
to
fill out the
lots-
paperwork?
No,
No,
he
she
adds
did
me
not.
just random things, and
I
thinks
asked her
it'll
all
be
the
you.
questions and stuff, added her as a host.
All right.
Oh.
Well, I'll check the boxes of her being a host today.
All right.
I think she was on there actually, but I include her, but she never filled out the paperwork, so there's not
Nope.
much there.
I filled it out
You have
for
homework
her.
to do, Audrey Jo,
please no,
before next week.
no.
Also, I've been working ahead. I know we've got some guests that have 90% committed, so I've got some exciting guests coming up. Some high level
So
guests.
what days do we have booked for these guests?
Pretty much every Thursday.
Every
So,
Thursday,
yeah.
from now until the
Through the end of the month of August, we've got guests booked or hopefully booked.
that's only like 2 weeks.
Well, I went to count too. I mean, we've got 2 or 3 guests booked up. We're just gonna be good.
Okay.
Very exciting.
All right.
I think there's big things.
Yep. This, very exciting.
Any final thoughts from your side, Dakota?
I'm going to set up a GoFundMe page. So if you happen to come across it, or if you see it on our Facebook page or the We Are Libertarians page, please donate so that we can get this to the level that we want it to be by the 2018 election season. That would be a great help, and I really want to get us there and making YouTube videos because it would make us a lot better. It would make our reach a lot better. Whenever you mention Boss Hog of Liberty to your friends and they look it up and they're like, I don't really like this. This will make it to where they're like, oh yeah, I love it. That's the level that we're going to get at, and we just need the money to get there.
Well, very good. Exciting stuff. I'm very proud of how far we've come. 17 episodes in. Thank you to
Yep.
all of our listeners for subscribing and liking it and sharing the page. It means a lot. A shout out to Matt Chapman. He came up to me at a 4-H board meeting the other night and said, "Yeah, I've been listening in the tractor." So 9 hours a day they have low standards. They're in the tractors. We're out there plowing or replanting for the 3rd time. So they listen.
Man, how insulting. I can't believe you just said farmers have low standards.
Oh, they have low standards when it comes to music or podcasts.
Oh, okay.
It's us or Glenn Beck, and if they're choosing us, we're winning. So, congratulations to Matt, by the way. He and his wife won Farm Family of the Year from the Indiana Farm Bureau. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's
Shout out to Team Rocket on the Pokemon Go group here in Newcastle.
Oh, my God.
My people were having T-shirts made up. Yeah, it's very exciting.
My people.
My people,
Listen
my
to
little group of about 8 or 10 people doing the raids. So that's I don't do Gen Con, but Sarah and I we play Pokemon, run around and meet friends, and it's honestly been fun. We've met more people around town that I would have never met. Good folks. So it's my other group chat now. One of my other group chats. So,
all right, I'm getting to the end of my Little Kings.
You're at the bottom of it. We got to go. Your cooler's empty. We appreciate all the likes and subscriptions, and we don't have a sign off, so we'll just say thank you.
Nope. Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you for listening to the We Are Libertarians Network. Get our other shows at WeareLibertarians.com.